Hey, what's good with it, Pack Pal? This your boy, MrCheckMyResume. We about to get into the 0-day expiration class. It is Thursday, August the 4th, and we're looking at setups and potential trades to take for Friday, August the 5th. And, I'm here to kind of help everyone, kind of synthesize and look through potential setups and kind of talk through some trades for tomorrow. And with that, we're gonna get right into it. Actually, let me put the back signal out to the pack real quick. Make sure everybody's aware that we are getting started. So a couple things about the 0-day expirations. So about the 0-day expirations. These are highly volatile and, for lack of a better word, risky contracts on the surface. These are one of the lowest percentage types of trades that you can take in terms of percentile of wins. However, my thesis around this is if I'm gonna take a risky trade, which we're talking about these 0-day contracts, I want to be able to maximize the potential gain that I get on these and to de-risk this type of trade. And that's why I don't like the term lottos, because that's not what we do here. We don't spend the whole class time coming up with lotto plays. We're looking to calculate potential moves that we can see realistically happening tomorrow. And so that's kind of like the thought process that we go through. And we utilize a system to help us kind of go through those cues and checks along the way so that by the time we get to a final list, we've kind of done a lot of our due diligence process. So that's the idea behind it. I will say if you're a new trader or new to the pack or even new to the strat, don't feel obligated to jump into these 0 days. You can definitely just hang out and watch us do it tomorrow and execute. I will say that this process that we've been using has been consistently working weeks on end, over a year now. We've just been doing this consistently. So really what my aim is to just really refine the process, find ways to make it better and improve. And we know that we got something here, it works. And so it's just all about refinement at this point. So I'll get into the thesis and the methodology, and it's really just, for me, I like to take these entries off a 4-hour time frame. I'm not looking for scalps or like quick 10-minute trades I'm getting in and out on. Looking for a sustained move, things that have relative strength that are going to move to take out targets to the upside or whichever direction I'm looking for, essentially. Looking for those that'll take out magnitude. So the thought process that I need to have is that I'm not essentially looking for reversals. I'm looking for continuation plays, essentially, for this. And what I mean by that is like a bullish continuation, for example, a 2-1-2, a 3-1-2, something, or a stock that's essentially been moving up or moving in force in a direction, and we're just catching a TTO back into continuity kind of deal. So a little different thought process than like my normal trades that I put out on Friday. So that's the differentiation between the two. And I try to help people go through this so that they can have a skill set in their bag so they can have the ability to trade on, day trades effectively and not feel like you like in this big rushed kind of sense. So anyway, we'll get into it. Like I mentioned, I like to take my trades off the 4-hour setup. And for a couple of reasons, but I think one of the big ones is that when these break, they typically break in force when they break, and you get a pretty sizable move on the stock. You may get a move for a couple hours out the day, or maybe even half the day, which is kind of where my expected moves are, is like a couple hours in, maybe half the day. I can take profits, but there's been cases, we've seen a few recently where they just kind of ran the entire day. And so that taking these 4-hour setups gives you that ability. If you go any lower than that, it's really hard to, I guess you could say, determine how far it's going to go. So anyway, with that, we're going to get right into it. What I try to do to help, simplify the process and cut down on time is run a scan of we start off with my favorite scan. That's the inside 4-hour setups. However, if you have a ticker that you want to look at for tomorrow, and tomorrow only, we're not looking at long and swing plays for next week, next month. We're looking for 0 days for tomorrow. Please go ahead and drop your ticker in the chat, and we'll be sure to get through them all. So what I'll do is I'll go through a series of tickers on the scan list, and I have no idea what's on there because I didn't get a chance to pre-scan. So we'll see what's on there. It's 252. Shit. And we're not going to go through all of these, of course. But I guess midway through, I'll kind of switch up and go through the chat, and we'll talk about them. And at the end of this, we'll have a nice collection of tickers, and then we have to go in and complete our due diligence process, whether that's drawing broad informations or analyzing the potential ROI on your trade, return on investment, by using like the Analyze tab, for example. E-Trade also has one, not sure some of the other platforms, but that'll help you kind of narrow down in terms of tickers you want to look at for tomorrow. So it's a process. And this first step right here, when we're going through this scan, is just we're aggregating data. We're just essentially want to collect those tickers that we feel have good setups, and that's it. Like no more, no less. We don't give it any additional thought. We don't make decisions at this point. We're just collecting the ones that we have that have the good setups that we would like to see. And then subsequently, we need to throw broad informations on there, and then that'll help us filter down because there may be some that are in traffic, that are right at the top, right before top broad information. So there's all kinds of scenarios that could happen once you throw the broad informations on there. So that could make the trade more attractive or less attractive, depending on how the broad informations compare to the candles. So we've got to go through that process to know what to play and what not to play. So let's get into it. What I see right here, first ticker. Damn, this MELI went $143 today. Okay. Anyway, Coinbase. It's the first one I see here. Let's drop coin. Okay. Let me switch this time frame to 4 hour. Okay. So what we got here on coin, we got the gap up with the pull down. So for me, I'm not sure if I want to play this right where it's at right now. You could potentially think that it could gap fill, but yeah, this one right here is too much. It's like it's not enough conflict, especially it's too much conflict for a day trade. I like the gap up. It looks like there's buyers, at these levels down here, but you got potential for it to go gap fill to the downside, which would be, that could potentially give you that rev strat on the day. But then there's a part of me that's seeing like, hey, it could fill the gap and then, reverse back up. So, that's my thought process. I'll have to, that's one that I don't even want to spend the time in evaluating, because if it doesn't appear to me immediately like viable, I want to move on, because I believe there's going to be other ones that at my interpretation are more valuable, such as AMD. So here AMD is in this gap here between the broad formations. So I mean, we have a BF level of like 110 on AMD. Now, I don't feel like we'll get there tomorrow, but it does give me, a bullish feel for this thing for tomorrow. AMD's first ticker we're doing today. Again, okay. AMD, we're in force. So again, we're trying to find continuation, things that are moving in force. We just want to catch a TTO. AMD gives us that perfect scenario that we're looking for. We've already drawn broad informations because we've been looking at it long. So that one's an easy call. Setup is there. Next one here, scrolling down. I want to take a look at, this is XPEV. XPEV. This one here. Looks like continuity showing more strength to the downside, but to me, looks like it's just consolidating. So yeah, this is one I just see as conflict. I don't know if I want to play it for 0 day. Just let it figure out itself. It's not ready. Let's keep going. MGM. It's like MGM. Oh, yeah. Look like it touched that BF, but that thing came back and created a hammer in the afternoon. I'm in win long. And that thing win been going up better than this one. I'm actually inclined to think this one's going to go back and try to retest tomorrow, especially with this setup here. We just have to see what SPY does in the morning, if it opens up, how it opens up. But based on this setup here and the trend of the stock, I like this MGM right here. $35.48. Entry. $45. Okay. So I'll be looking for an entry above 35.48, and I'll be trying to take that one to the broad information level. Not sure if it'll get there, but 36.12 is where the high of the day was today. So that's your first target. I'd see what it can do in that first hour. It might just go crazy then. It's a lot of volatility in buying in Vegas stocks right now. So keep your eye on that one. Let's see. I know Boss Game been talking about that RAD. Let's see what they're talking about today. Yep. Yeah, RAD, got the inside 4-hour hammer. Looking solid, looking like a TTO. I'll be looking for a 212 above 875 on RAD, and you can see that first target is top of that wick at 907. So yeah, RAD looks solid. You have to go check out the contract, see if anybody's at the party. But those are good. I'm gonna take a look at NEO. I don't think it's gonna be anything different than XPEV, but yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, similar to XPEV. Technically, if the inside 4-hour went back green in the morning, you'd be swinging everything back in continuity, essentially. So that could be interesting. Still red on the quarter though. Wouldn't be jumping to that one. It's just conflicts. Yeah, Roku. Nano dimensions. Okay. Let's do Roku. Yeah, interesting. Roku filled the gap, did a little bit of a pullback after. Still 2 down on the week. Interesting. Oh, still inside. Shit. Okay. It never went 2 down. Okay. Yeah. This one here looks so weird. Seems like it just keeps giving bearish afternoon candles and then shoots up in the morning. I would overall be thinking this thing's gonna go 2 up tomorrow. It's just the 4-hour setup doesn't look very clean on it. But That would be my expectation. I don't know if there's any other information that can support it. I haven't been tracking Roku, so if anybody got something around Roku, let me know. But the setup doesn't look the best. It's got the inside shooter on the 4-hour. However, as you can see, it's giving plenty of those red candles in the afternoon, and it's still gone up. So conflict, I wouldn't be trying to make it a primary play, but if you want to keep your eye on it, feel free. It could potentially do something. Let's take a look. Let's go to Visa and then plug. We got Visa trying to push back up to the 220 levels. Last high of 218.07. That's actually when I got out. I didn't get out at the high, but I got out on that around that time. I think I was right at 218 or something. I can't remember, but yeah, these lurkers going back to retest that high and then make its way up to that 220 level. They're actually at 222 now. So Visa doesn't look bad. I think it's going to go 2 up tomorrow. So you just gotta, sit tight for the inside bar to break, but you got an entry above 214.16. So you only got like 70 cents. It's not like you don't have to wait very long. I mean, they could potentially go down first, then go up, but I mean, you don't have far to go. Is my point on that Visa. So that may be one you want to keep as a secondary play. 213.70. So yes, it was about 23 cents under where it opens. It's not like it fell or anything. It's just red. I'm gonna throw an alert on there just in case. Let's see. Okay. We just looking for 2 up on the day though. All right. Plug. Okay, plug. Plug gapped up and then showing out. They got company over there showing out. It's all right, plug. That Chip Investment Act gave all them a little boost. So here, plug, what we got on Mr. Plug Power. We got a 212 on the 4 above 24.20. I'm gonna set an alert. Okay, plug power. Baba, John Deere. Okay, let's take a look at the firm and then explore these. Right. Inside 4 on the firm. Firm looks like it's trying to make its way up. $32 is not, that's a good price. Looks like we bottoming out right there around that $30. Well, really it was like 25, but it hit a low of 13. So I mean, shit. A firm, I mean, it's a low price. You just be considering shares, honestly. For something like that looks like. But as far as the 0 day for tomorrow, sorry, got into my long thought process. We got a 212 on the 4-hour above 32.74. Got about 19 cents until we hit trigger. Looks like we'll be trading right back into continuity. I'm willing to put an alert on it. I know from my past experience, the firm didn't have very good Greeks on the 0 days. So a lot of times I've just neglected to play it because of the Greeks. Like there's others that I could play with better Greeks because I want to stay in my trades for a little bit of time. So if I'm trying to stay in my trade, I need something with good delta, especially with the 0 days and how the theta decay happens so fast. So now moving on, John Deere, Spotify, AAL. This one has a shooter on the 4. I think I'm going to leave Mr. Deere alone. Still green on the month and quarter, but Mr. Deere ain't showing too much strength. Like, not yet. It ain't showing the strength, but it could still go up. 2 up tomorrow. Could do an outside. It's probably going to go 2-1-2 and then fail 2 down, go up 2-1-3. But the setup doesn't look favorable at the moment. We'll keep it going. I think Pat eating good off that HD. Let's see, Spot. Ooh, Spotify. One of the better looking setups that we've seen thus far. Got the 2-1-2 hammer setup here. Reinforce on the month, quarter is green. Looking at a 2-1-2 above 122.68. About that. All right. American Airlines. 2 4-hour. 1487. Interesting setup here. We know airlines. Okay. No airlines have been beaten down. So that'd be an interesting setup right there on AAL. I need to look at some more broad informations. We do have a month trigger at 1542. We're about 60 cents away from that. I guess I already have an alert waiting on that. All right, let's keep it going. Netflix. Let's see what the flicky flicks talking about. Look. 2 weeks in a row, this goddamn Netflix been sitting good on a Friday. So okay, look. 3, 1, 2, 1. Set to Chicago on a 4-hour. Your level for entry on the Chicago would be at 2 or above 230.89. Uh-oh. And that's Netflix. Netflix is a part of the 0-day alumni. Have hit a monster trade on that one. Actually, I think FICO had did a trade recap on this one. So actually, they had a trade recap on the last time we beat the brakes off of Netflix on a 0-day. That was like 700. I think I hit 770 that day. It was a big boy move, something like that. That was a while ago. Novavax. Let's take a look at MVAX. I like those that we know will do work on a 0-day. Gives me a little extra oomph. That's why Target got picked last week, and I sat through the little initial pullback. That very reason. Setup was there. I gotta put my money in it, no matter what. That's how I feel about Target 0 days. So MVAX, looks like it, did what an inside bar does. Looks like it chopped around. I don't know if I want to set the alert for it, but I mean, I actually think this one's going to go 2 up on the day tomorrow. And so for that reason, I'm going to set the alert. We'll have to assess if it makes it in, makes it into the starting lineup. 62.54. A lot of the bench players this week. Off. Ooh, BBBY and win. Uh-oh. Already in that win. And another thing that I like to point out, if it's a ticker that you're already playing, I like to give that one a little more favor because I've already done, a lot of the due diligence on it. I supposed to have drawn broad informations and, done some, kind of hypothesis and evaluation in terms of what this thing's going to do and all of that. So if you get the setup for a trade that you've already deemed as one that's going to go up, if the setup's there, it would just be easier on you to play something on a 0-day that you're already in if the setup's there. And I qualify that if the setup's there. And so you just, look for those as well. So I get excited when I see some of the tickets I'm already in because it's like, I don't have to do as much homework. And then 2, there's like a comfort level because of that. So anyway, this one here, Bed Bath Beyond. I mean, sentiment on the market and everything. And it's been going up. Not as strong as some of the others within the sector, but it's nonetheless still been going up. It hit the yearly BF down here at $4.38. Wow. So now it's at 615. I look at all these as like share opportunities. I don't know if I play the option on BBBY right here. But if you wanted to know the setup, let me give you your levels. You do have an entry above $6.20 at Bed Bath Beyond on the 4 hours. BBBY. Take a look at Wynn Resorts. I myself am in Wynn for September expirations. Yeah, I'm in there for September expiry. And mainly because I didn't want to put myself up against the wall in terms of time. But it looks like this thing's traveling up and it's gonna make its way to this broad information eventually in the next probably week or 2. So you may not even need to get to September, but it's always good to have time because we do pull back, whatever. So anyway, on Wynn, looks like we have a 212 potential here on the 4 hour. Looks like at this level here, I guess at the low of the day in that area, it gets bought up. So it created like a reddish hammer. It just really didn't do much in the afternoon session, honestly. It just went up and just kind of chilled out the second half of the day. But it didn't fall drastically or anything like that. So it's just one, keep your eye on it. I'm really only gonna set an alert because I'm in it. But yeah, it's not one of the better looking ones for tomorrow. Let me switch it. I'm in long. I don't know if I'll put on this one. 67.46. Level for entry. Let's see. I don't see a scenario where it actually like falls tomorrow. It might make a 2 down, but I don't know if it'll make 2 down on the day. Like a 2 down on the 4 hour, but maybe not on the day. That's how I'm looking at it. So it could come back to the outside 4, create a 3 on the 4 hour. Which the 4 hour time frame creates those a lot. Yes. Okay, next up we got Mara, Meta, JetBlue. Okay, now it looks like Mara is giving us shooter vibes. Looks like we might be going to take the continuity back to the downside, potentially. We got a mean breakout this morning, then create a shooter. And then the afternoon session gave us a little bit of a hammer, got bought up. So it could still show buyers here are present and, you know, potentially push it up in the morning. But if you go to the day, you look at the day and you're like, oh, that's a shooter, clear day. So I'll be looking at a potential reversal to the downside on this one, maybe to go back and retest this broadening formation, but maybe a 2-2 rev on the day below that 1330 level. If we got below that, yeah, it's gonna probably go try to take out that broadening formation right there. Now it may get bought up when it does it, but you know, it's just what I'm looking at. Other side, it could do 2-2 rev to the upside above 1357. So there's a couple potential there's a couple potential you know, ways this one could play out. So anyway, moving on from Mara, let's take a look at Meta. That Meta looking like a bad boy. Who all took the entry off yesterday's 4 hour? So that one looks strong. Like it did good this morning. I didn't pay much attention. But who was that? Oh yeah, I had Strat Damon, had Larry on with me, Chris Watson, breaking down that Meta play last night. That was good work. That was chicken for anybody who took that. All right, so Meta looks like it's back for round 2 today. Looking at a Chicago 312 on the 4 hour. Thank you. On the 4 hour above 170.79. $70.79. Let's do it. That one's set. Looking at continuation on the day of 172.15. So yeah, this one looking solid again for tomorrow. Be ready for that one. That one looks good. First target at 172.15. Yeah, this first target is today's hot. Perfect. That looks good. That looks like some barbecue chicken right there. Shaq would say. We're not gonna look at JetBlue. I think we're clear that airlines have a good look for tomorrow. So it looks like this is CSX, the railroads. We got a 212. Looks like a rejection off the month level broadening formation. Below, we get a 212 below 32.77 on CSX. So we got about 6 cents until we hit a trigger point. So that could be one right off textbook strat, right off the broadening formation back down to the downside for a 2-2 rev. Also on the day, similar deal. Below that 32.55, you've also got a rev strat on the day to the downside on CSX. Perfect rev strat opportunity off the broadening formation. We'll see if the buyers are still in control there, or if and it gets bought back up and they go back and retest that $33 level, or will the buyers leave and let it fall tomorrow? So that's the question that we're going to see, and they'll probably make a decision pretty quick. I think over time this will continue to go up to continue that V-shape recovery there, but we don't know what it's going to do for tomorrow. It's really the question. So anyway, more time that's been needed on that one. Let's take a look at LI, then CCJ. LI. Similar to Neo and XPEL, it's giving us a lot of conflict. So looks like it's chopping right now. So let's just leave it. Double inside months. So we're gonna leave Lee alone. That thing smoked though. To start out the quarter. Shout out that boy Legacy, calling out that Lee early on this quarter. Smoked it. That thing went up crazy. Okay, you know that boy loves some China now. Thank you, son. Okay, so moving on here. Here's a nice looking setup on CCJ. We both got inside 4 and inside day setups to the upside. Looks like we got a nice Chicago on the day and a 212 on the 4. And we're still inside on the week, interestingly. So first and foremost, inside 4 hour, 212. Above 24.94. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Today we got a Chicago set up on the day here. Entry levels above 25.02. So 25 flat. No weak trigger needed. Let's keep going. CCJ, look at that. SO. I didn't even notice that right offhand on SO. Oh yeah, SO. Man, the way this SO been smoking, huh? You get a rev. Looks like it got bought up right there. Tried to come down a little bit. I still think this one, if not a strong inside day, I don't see it's going too down at all. But could get a potential inside day here on SO. I'm not gonna set a 4-hour alert anyway. It's usually not. There usually isn't enough people at the party for these on these non-standard weeks, so it's not one that you just. If I told you to get anything, I'd say 819 if you wanted to play 0 day, because they're gonna have the contracts. But you got to check it out to see for yourself. I don't know what that looks like this time. In my experience, though, they're usually very low on non-standard Fridays. LVS. Did it complete its move? Not quite, but LVS, I'm thinking it's still gonna go up tomorrow, just like the rest of the other ones in that subsector. So we'll see, but I'm inclined to think that we'll get a strong inside day or another 2 up tomorrow. We just had some sell-off when it made that move this morning. A little bit of profit taking. Same thing happened to Win. Actually, to Win, there's a little bit of selling. Not as drastic as this, but I think there'll be subsector strength with those tomorrow. BlackRock. Let's take a look at Etsy. My thing with Etsy is the theta. So the theta on these contracts for the stocks like Etsy, they just aren't very attractive. So you gotta like hot potato that thing. If it don't do like you want to do immediately, you got to get up out of there because it goes sideways or kind of stalls around first. The contract's gonna get ate up. That's just kind of how Etsy rolls, unless you're buying in the money. That's what I like to do. I buy in the money, and I can kind of sit in there for a longer period of time, or I feel more inclined to sit in there a longer period of time. Okay, let's scroll. What else we got here? See some familiar titles. All right, so Futu. We're gonna look at Futu, then we're gonna get into the chat. It's 6:42, so we can get into tickers in the chat. Futu looks like we got a downside set up here. First, looking at a Chicago on the 4 hour below 42.22. So you're about 12 cents out for that break below Chicago 312. First target will be the low of the day at 41.82. And on the day time frame, we've got the reversal shooter set up on the day 22 rail below 41.82. And first target would be $40.20 off the day. So there's some potential good move to the downside on that one. I need to draw some more BFs to make sure, but that one don't look too bad. Don't look too bad at all. Sorry. Yep. All right, let's keep rolling. Let me see the chat. What's going on in the chat? Good. So you still got some runners in there. Sir. All right. Let's take a look at a couple things here. Stace, Google. Didn't y'all say they had earnings today? Something like that. Be too much going on. I can't remember. Chicago on the 4 hour. Nice entry. This one should keep going. HD Meta. HD looking strong too. Damn. How we pulled this one up? I guess we did it. Yeah, HD looks strong. We talked about Natus. We got that. Damn it. $307.67. Level for entry. Interesting. Okay, HD. So HD, Chicago setup looks solid to feel confident about. There we go. Yeah, we got room on this HD. Oh, so this 315 level essentially. So yeah, 2 up on the day tomorrow. We'll see what it actually does, but we got continuity. We got the setup. Price is moving up, or has been for a little while. It has the makings to do its thing tomorrow. Let's see if it does it. What we got? Oh yeah, right at the broad formation, we go 2 up on the month. Interesting. Probably might be a rejection right here. The hell, we thought that at 403 to 413. We'll see. Delta Airlines, the Efren. So yeah, so a lot of these inside candles that have been red, they've had a lot of wick. A lot of them are creating like a hammer type shape on the candles. So it's kind of like I feel like there's buyers present and these drops aren't going to be too significant. Like they're gonna, they're gonna pull it down from time to time, but they don't seem like strong in any way. So at least some of them anyway. So Delta, while the 4-hour in itself doesn't look great, I think if you zoom out, look at the day, look at the week, look at the month, you're like, damn, this thing is going up. So I would be just keeping your eye on this one. Even though the 4-hour doesn't look great, I still think it's very viable to play. So yeah, set your alert on that one. Your entry for your Chicago on the 4 would be above 33.45. So 33. Uh, 33.45. Okay. Crowd. Hope. We'll take a look at crowd. Nice. Nice. I don't know if y'all heard me talking about crowd the other day, but yeah, I was feeling the crowd play. This looks good though. Off the gap down, so off the gap down just looks like a TTO now. Go gather some orders down there at the low, get some buyers, and then get up out of there. So we got 212 here on the 4-hour. We're looking at a level of 189.25. Oh, it's already up. I'm about to put the level at the trigger. This price is already moving up. Blows right there. That's all right. That's all right. Okay, keep it going. Proud. We looked at Meta and the firm. Keep on that. Oh shit! Pull that Friday special. Shout out to Target last Friday, 300% plus. Oh, this thing's in a wedge. Interesting. This was interesting. It's trapped. It's not ping ponging though. It's like literally there's buyers at the lows. Could get up out of here tomorrow. It is a Friday special. I don't like the setup per se. Typically, Target has if we take it, it has a better looking setup than this. Without being trapped between the broad informations. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave Target B. But I will say the entry that you do have is you got the rev strat on the 4-hour 2-2 rev at 166.71. Just right above that is your level for entry. And that's what you should really excuse me, that's what you should be looking for. Is that level to trigger. Otherwise, if you go over here to the day and look at the day, it's just red inside. It's just trapped, my man. That was just, yeah, that was trapped. I just leave it be, let it figure out its life. Okay. It says our cam's bad. It's probably, never mind. I ain't gonna get my boy like that. So we got the shooter here on par to have a hell of a day today. Sheesh. Well, the candle just looks like it carries a lot of magnitude with it. Sure, it actually is. So this is like a TTO on the 4-hour. Just took out some lows, came around and popped right back up. You know, nothing to it on that. Oh, okay. It's giving us more of a shooter on the 4 though. Yeah, is off of those. Huh. That should be interesting right there. You got a level for entry to the upside above 25.53, and you got a level for entry to the downside of below 25.23. You're closer to the downside trigger, and you could probably visually see that. But could be a function of price hit that broad information that the 3 created and then rejected from that. So, okay. See you, Paul. Disney. Disney got pulled down and never really recovered, but I think for tomorrow, it's giving us all downside vibes for tomorrow. I think the trend is trying to change to the upside, so I think we probably got until about the 110, 115, somewhere in there before it actually stops. So this downside movement is going to be like temporary in my mind and get bought back up. But right now, you got this 212 to the downside below 107.93, and you could technically take that down to like 107.15 or even below that, down to the magnitude here. What is that? 105.73. So you got a couple options. I don't know if Disney is going to have the weakness sector. The rest of the sector looks pretty decent. Just the setup's definitely to the downside. Upside vibes, even though the trend is to the upside. So could be one of those deals where you see you had a 1 day pull down right here, like it did on the 2nd. Was that Tuesday? And then it went crazy yesterday. Yesterday. So they could do another one of those where it goes down first and then just pops up crazy. Just keep your eye on that, Disney. It makes so nonchalant. What makes me classify as a good setup compared to the others? It's a couple different factors. It's not one particular thing. I think it's a process that I go through that helps me determine. There's a process that I go through that helps me determine those that I should take higher priority on, such as things that are like in season, things that have legislation. There could be potential like bullish news or there's additional factors beyond the setup because every 2-1-2 ain't the same. Every combination ain't created equal. So how do we break the tie? We got 5 tickers with the same setup. They look all relatively the same. We got to throw broadening formations on there, and we've got to assess it for other factors. So we got to look at continuity. We got to look at the broadening formations. We got to take into account the factors I just listed. Then at that point, once you weigh all of that out, you'll be able to filter out ones over the others. That's going to be it'll become easy, and it's just more so the time that you have to take to go through the process, but you'll be able to quickly just go through it. So it's not just one set thing, but it's a process you got to do. And that's kind of what we try to do here. We don't have enough time to go through all steps of the process, but we talk about it ad nauseum and drawing your broadening formations. Understanding the continuity of the stock, we want to take something and really be in continuation. Time frame continuity and broadening formations. Understanding the contracts you need to select and all those things. So all of that stuff kind of plays a factor in our process. And so through that, we're able to kind of dictate and pick the right tickers. I have really high accuracy when it comes to picking tickers. And then all it does is just leave us to execute. And that's all it's about. We just want to be left to execute and not have to think during the trading day. So those are the factors. Every week ain't gonna be the same. Some gonna be better than others. Some everything looks great, and then there's some weeks you can hardly find anything. But the beauty of what the process does, it allows you to find these good trades regardless of the environment. So you don't have a worry. Dollar General. Looks like this one is squeezing. Yeah. And then if you go to the day, we've got triple inside days. Close triple inside day. We're gonna set an alert. Like those multiple inside scenarios. $252.43. On the day, the 4 hour doesn't look as good. Actually, I don't see if you can see how the behavior pattern of the price has reacted. Every time it gets close to these lows, it gets bought up. But also at the same time, we're getting higher lows each day and lower highs. So we're just tightening that zone. So we're just waiting on the bust here. So I wouldn't be too concerned with this, bearish looking inside candle. it is my belief, and based on like information I have and stuff like that, that the break would be to the upside, but you never know that for certain. But that would be what I would be inclined to believe would take place. But even with that, I'm not going to take an early entry just to be in first. I'm gonna definitely be patient and let it play out. But my assessment is we're gonna open up tomorrow, green candle, and then we may have a situation where it just shoots up and breaks out of the range and then goes. But DG squeezing, set your downside levels too, so that you can be ready to and equipped to play both sides of it. Don't just be biased to one side. Just put in the alerts. It's all good. Just giving you my personal assessment on it. So so anyway, we'll go from there. Let's see what else we got. Nerd, okay. Citigroup. It's one of my bank stock, one of the bank stock, right? Citigroup sitting on top of a weekly BF. And it's been just chilling. Interesting. I think we're about to break to the downside. Interesting. Okay, we got double inside days on Citigroup. This is really interesting though. You see how it's reacting to that broadening formation weekly level. It seems like each time it touches, or at least the earlier times when it touched, it would get bought up pretty quickly. It looks as though more recently though that level hasn't been strong with buyers. I mean, but at the same time, it's still respecting that BF level. So that's something to take into account. For myself, I'm inclined to think it's going to go down, and that's what the setup's telling me. I'm not going to mark an alert for it. But okay, so 2-2 rev on the week, inside. Yeah, I think we're setting up for a downside move on this Citigroup. On the inside days to the downside. So I'm thinking. So I'd set my level for entry on the day below 51.07. And I'll be looking for first target of 50.83 and 50.73. Anything else to pull up? Let's see. 40, this 49.73 level. It's only $1.50 move if it did all that. It's not totally great. Workhorse. Workhorse look fire, bro. I don't know what the contract if anybody, the party and stuff like that, but workhorse, you see, it's been going. I don't like that cross in the 4 hour. That shit pisses me off. So now, it's like but other than that though, shit, this thing is fire. I mean, I would expect for it to go 2 up again tomorrow. So maybe for that reason you set a 4 hour trigger on it. But yeah, I would just think it's gonna keep going up tomorrow. You're gonna have another broad information on that bad boy to 552. Now I don't have all of them on there, so I probably need to go and update my levels to make sure I have everything appropriately. But yeah, inside 4 hour, I do not like the cross pattern. I don't like that. But I'm still inclined to believe it to go 2 up tomorrow. So good flagging that legacy. And this one has full time frame continuity as well on the macros. So you got the buyers are present at that price level. You would imagine. Next one here. Shopify. Yeah, that Shopify look fire. Shop look good. Looking nice for a 3-2-2 to the upside on the 4. Looks solid. $41.06. 41. We got some work to do to go 2 up. So I would just target the high of the day today, 42.59. I wouldn't be trying to think too ambitious beyond that. What am I doing? All right. Okay, CCJ. We already looked at that, didn't we? We did. No, I'm tripping. Did we not already look at CCJ? Yeah, we did. Okay, I got the alert set. Yeah, so that's a go. We like CCJ. Yeah, I'm tripping. That was inside, man. Yeah. Yeah, we talked about it. Nah, it's all coming back to me. SO. Yes, sir, Ronell. SO, man. That's what it's doing too. The last hurrah. Try to go push to this broad information before the last of the season gives out. People start selling off utilities. That's okay, nerd. You know, there was a lot of like stopping and starting points, you know. So I don't think there was a bad exit on it. But just a function of what time you got and all that. Yeah, she pay now. Whew. Now this MTCH, whatever the heck this is, I don't remember. Somebody's brought this up to me before, but I don't remember what it was. Hey, what are we looking for tomorrow? The same thing that happened? 212. Just keep going. I'm not gonna throw no salt on it. Let's keep the positive vibrations going. 66.72 level for entry. 212 above 66.72. Be interesting. Never played them before. Oracle, Jamia, Mr. Motel. Okay. Oracle to inside month. Oracle's trying to push up. Okay. Inside week. Hammer. So we got a hammer here on the 4 hour. 312 setup. And so we shot up and then going flat a little bit here. Okay. $77.45. I'm gonna set an alert, man. See how the Oracle looks on a 0 day. I don't think we've played an Oracle on a 0 day. Always open to introduction of stocks to the club. Oh, this Jamia. This Jamia looking strong as hell, man. I do not like it. Like playing those $6 stocks on the 0 days, but setup, you can't take nothing away from the setup. Setup look fire. 212 above 668. That's a it look like barbecue chicken. I would draw your broad informations and I would go all the way down to the day. So I would go down to some of the lower time frames and draw those because Jamia is a small cap, so it'll respond to those BS for whatever reason. Let's see, let's keep it going. Yep, Uber, Lyft. Man, what is there to say? That Uber been showing out all week, man. That's the sneaky one. That's the one on the list that just kind of like creeping. Look up, that thing been gone all week. Like, whoa, what happened? Whoa. So we got a 312 on the 4 hour above $31.97. This one's gonna go 2 up tomorrow. Beautiful, beautiful. That's beautiful. Like I'm from Memphis. Now left. Should be the same. Damn. Hey, that's probably the strongest looking inside bar we've seen today. That motherfucker had his root today. Three. That's mean. That's mean. Gap and go. Why do I keep doing it? All right, Snow, Apple. Snow, okay. Continuation on Snow. Got 2-2. Rail strap potential on the day here. I know Snow, a couple people was asking about that today. $161.59. Snow looks solid. I mean, we get bullishness on Spider Mars, Snow will go up. But you gotta go look at the Greeks and determine a good contract. And my memory Greeks weren't too great. Look at Apple, man. Look at that Apple. Apple look mean. Look at that week chart, man. Apple say I'm finna bring the whole market bite. Single-handedly. Say put the whole market on my back. Apple back at 165, man. That's crazy. That is insane. So Apple, looking for a continuation on the day. So we don't really got to talk about that. We've been having sustained bullishness for about 3-4 weeks overall. I mean, this one here is like clearly longer than that. So it definitely showed us before actual run that it was going to happen. You can't always go off that. So nobody should feel bad at all. For those people who like follow Apple closely, maybe they saw something with that. But yeah, that thing, that's a mean week chart right there. It don't get much prettier than that. That's pretty. A nice little V shape. We might get run up to this monthly level BF about 180 potentially. That's solid. All right. Oh, you been in Uber since last week, nerd? Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, that Uber was a sneaky one. I was so distracted with other plays, I forgot to get in it. Yeah, yeah, that's fire. Both of them. Dominic, we went over DG. I don't remember the exact what we discussed about DG. Oh, it was squeezing. So yeah, I was just thinking my personal opinion that it's going to probably break out to the upside, but we don't have anything other than that to help us support that. That's just my personal opinion. That has nothing to do with what the charts were saying right there. We just in a big squeeze, and it's going to break probably tomorrow. My thought process is going to break to the upside. Keeps getting bought up every time it comes to a new low. So anyway. Coca-Cola looks like Coke want to get with it tomorrow. $69.3. Coke look fire. Coke look fire. That's one of the better looking ones we've seen today. I think Uber was another one. This Coke looks strong. 63.73 is your level for entry on the day. Above that for the web strap. Okay. A higher time frame DL stronger than yes, they are next week, Dave. That is 100% a fact, and that's why we emphasize drawing the higher time frame broadening formations. A 5-minute broadening formation ain't gonna be nowhere as strong as a week or a month or a quarter or a year, you know. So, MTCH match, yeah. I like in terms of what I'm gonna focus on in the mornings. What I like to do is kind of have an idea before I go to bed at night, and of like so after I've done my assessment. So after this, I've got to make sure of my broad information. I'm gonna go and filter through these different tickers we pulled. I'm gonna throw broad informations on the ones I don't have them already drawn on, and then I'm gonna cross some out after I go through that process, because there's some I don't have BFs on, and then when I draw them on there, they're not gonna look as attractive to me, and so I'm gonna cross those off so that then at the next step I'm gonna go and look at the return on investment of the trade. If the trade doesn't pay an adequate amount based on the amount of risk that I'm putting into the trade, I may knock it down a few notches. And then the last part of your question. And then, as I talked about earlier, like I want to get in things that have been running that already confirmed is moving. Like it ain't no guess. Like I'm not trying to do reversals too much off of for these 0 days. I'm trying to go something that's going. It's going. I just need to get in off the inside. So that's definitely part of that process. And then like pre-market, I'm scanning stuff, and I have my scanner on E-Trade, so I'm able to see like what's hitting highs and lows, pre-market and stuff like that. So I'm monitoring stuff that's on my list. I would say the best way I put it is I'm gonna have like my top 2 or 3 or whatever, and then I'll for sure be checking those like pre-market just to see if everything's confirmed. But it don't really matter till actually the bell opens, because sometimes the stuff will go to the downside and people be like, "Oh, I ain't gonna look at it no more." I'm like, man, that thing turn around so fast on a 0 day in the morning. The first 15 minutes, that thing be jumping around. So you gotta let time kind of take care of itself. So if your alert goes the other way initially, don't give up on it, because these are 0 days. The 4-hour time frame creates a lot of threes. So you have to expect there and anticipate that there may be like failed 2 downs or failed 2 ups and makes 3s and stuff like that. So all of those things you can kind of look at and assess, but the pre-market stuff is just additional information for me. If I did a correct assessment of the overall market, as well as the tickers that I'm looking at the night before, I should feel strongly about whatever I'm going to play. The pre-market stuff is just more so confirmation, honestly. And half the time, I'm not even paying attention to it pre-market that closely. I just like, oh, okay, the market's doing what I expected it to do. And, you know, it's not real detailed in that. Like, I'm like, oh, it hit this level. Like, no, I'm just kind of like, okay, the market's going in the direction that I have expected for it to be in the morning. When I went to bed, I needed it to do this, and it's doing that. You know, if it's something that goes against the plan or the other direction and stuff like that, we try to make sure that we have contingencies and things. So you may see those VXXs and those UVXYs on the 0-day list. And that's when, you know, I'm playing to scenarios. I'm making a list based on the scenarios that could play out. So not every ticker is intended to go. Every ticker in my mind is intended to cover the different scenarios that play out. So as long as I pay attention to what's playing out in my thesis, then, you know, I'm able to kind of know what trades to make. So, and that's how we're able to kind of hit stuff consistently. Because you can't look at the market one way. You just got to be prepared for like what can happen in the scenarios, and that's what the strat's about. So like it all goes hand in hand. Limitless Dwayne, yeah, the DG, inside, yeah, we're looking at the DG. Show MA similar, yeah. MasterCard and Visa, they definitely run similarly. Honestly, to me though, I really like Visa's price action better. It's just, I'm sorry, I like MasterCard's price action better. It's just Visa's contracts are more affordable and reasonable to people. So it just makes it easier to alert them. But just to call it out, with MasterCard, you do have a Chicago setup here on the 4-hour above 357.41. With the way the Greeks are set up and the cost that it's going to take to enter these contracts, I probably suggest you go to Visa if you wanted to play either one of these two. But it's going to continue trending up similar to Visa has been and is. So just take a look at Visa. Similar deal inside 4-hour, looking at a 212 above 214.16. And again, we're looking this one here. I don't know if it'll do it tomorrow, but today went $5 and it's 2.39%. So it wasn't like a huge move on the underlying. So you could see a potential for this thing to push up, maybe 215 or things of that nature. But I'd be looking at a target around that 216.85 level, where it created an outside bar. I think that was like a week ago. So anyway, I think that one is solid. You may just have to wait on it. That's all. QQQ should be bullish. Not even looking at it, should be stupid bullish. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that ain't even a question. The way the market's been going, I don't even have to look at QQQ. You should, yeah, that one should already know. There ain't no setup though on the 4-hour. It's just continuation. This is, yeah. This one here, you're gonna have to wait till we open up tomorrow and then catch a TTO if you wanted to play QQQ. I don't like the straight 2 up on the day or 2 up on the 4. So I would just look for the first initial, or not even initial, but just look for a pullback or a TTO in a smaller time frame and like jump in there then. But this one, the expectation is gonna go 2 up tomorrow and keep pushing up for tech. Tech looking strong tomorrow. So I definitely be considering QQQ. That's what you like to play for sure. It looks like that's all y'all put on the list. I got actually a couple more tickers that I think we should probably look at before I let y'all go. I'm definitely not going through this list though, but there is a couple though I want to point out. Not even point out, but just look at it. Honeywell, This was one of the alerts. Yeah, we looked at Futu right before, and that Futu didn't look too hot. Is that Devin Wicker? Bro, hey, shoot me a DM, bro. I gotta holler at you. Yeah, shoot me a DM, bro. We'll take it offline. I've been looking for you, man. Okay. Yeah, so Honeywell continuation. This one's bullish, enforce. Yeah, so this one right here, just look for a TTO during the intraday trading session. There's no setup currently, but yeah, Honeywell looking strong. It has been strong. CVS, I think it probably should have a bearish 4 hour because it pulled down a good bit in the afternoon. I think it went to go fill the gap, which is what it did. My expectation is that it'll probably push back up to go try to retest this broad information. I don't think there's a setup there. I don't think we're going to go too down on the day either. But there's no setup there. Except for the downside setup. I don't think with the buying we saw that's going to happen. We just had significant profit taking. People be sitting in them CVS contracts for so long, they get a pop like that, they out of there. Caterpillar, it has a setup to the downside, 312, just below this broad information. So if it lets it drop below that level like that, you could see this thing push down to near this low, but it may not even make the new low. It just may go bounce just below that low, which it can do a lot of times and create a new higher low on the day kind of thing. So be mindful of this one. You could take this entry below 183.50. What else? Yeah, this one, it's not showing any strength. So I'll just be looking at it for a downside move. Maybe try to target the bottom of this 3, but I don't know if I would take it below that. I don't think it'll get there. Let's keep going. XLY, Tesla. I'm gonna skip over the ones we already seen. Tesla, 4 hour hammer on Tesla, 2 up continuation on the day. Chicago. Hey. Tesla fanatics, what y'all thinking over there? Y'all gotta put me on. So essentially, like if we're looking at a 4 hour entry and there's no setup to enter, we're gonna have to wait until the morning session opens up, and then you're gonna have to drop down to a smaller time frame. Yeah, 3-to-1 I saw on Tesla. That's right. I did just read that. So you're gonna have to go down to a smaller time frame and identify an entry at that lower level, because you'll have more kind of up and downs at the smaller time frame levels. And so you may be able to get in. And sometimes when they're super bullish, I think like last week, what was I playing? Target, it was something else. It might have been the week before, but I was playing one of those and it kept moving up every like candle, 2 up, 2 up, 2 up. So I wasn't even getting pullbacks. Like on the 15, I had to go down to like 5 minute to like get in because it was moving so fast. So like sometimes you can't even, yeah. So yeah, that's definitely something to take into account. But yeah, so the 1 hour is probably not gonna be, it's not gonna move fast enough for you on the 0 day unless you're gonna wait, a few hours in the day. Usually in the morning like that, you're gonna have to go like 15.5. I put it like this, if it triggers your level and then goes in force like right after, or let's say like this, if it's a 2 up continuation and then it goes 2 up immediately, you're gonna have to wait a while to catch that 4 hour, that 1 hour TTO, versus if you go down to the 5 or 15, you can catch it pretty quick in the move. And so that's what I mean. So you would need to drop down to a lower time frame than even an hour. And then you get in with the understanding that this thing is moving in continuation and is already in force, and you just got to sit back and chill for a second and let it do its thing. And then you could go back to like the 30-minute or the hour after that. Yeah. You're really saying, oh, okay, I missed the actual entry. I want to make the same move off that original entry, but I have to make an intraday entry to get on this train. I missed the bus stop. Now I got to get on there while it's moving. Let me see here. All right. This is one of them. Troll me. All right. Nike. I'm just gonna look at like maybe 2 or 3 more and I'm out. NKE ticker Nike. Let's see here. Appreciate it. Yes. Nike here, Chicago set up. Man, it's funny, man. Because of the way the price action behaved today, it made a lot of the 2-ups look real funky. So some of the setups don't look as great. But what I'm seeing is like consistent buying at low levels. So that's telling me like buyers are still present. They're just not showing like the strength to push them up, but they're not letting them drop. So I could see a scenario where tomorrow, I don't know if we gap down or nothing like that, but we could see a situation where things maybe are flat for a while, or maybe do like a pull down intraday and then reverse back up midday, and then we have like a very strong day kind of deal. And honestly, for me, those are the best ones for the 0 days. And so just looking at Nike, where like it's not taking off, but it's like making higher lows. You got red candles, but the TTO, like it's just it's giving you a bunch of mixed signals, but it's trending up right now in these last few weeks. So anyway, Chicago on the 4-hour, looking at an entry above 114.57. $114. Okay. All right. I think I'm pretty good. I want to take a look at this ATVI because I had seen some strength in communications, but it looks like ATVI already they done ran its course. Or have they? Yeah, they didn't make it to the broader formation, but that was a big pull down in the afternoon. Shooter. Yeah. They're gonna get calls on the shooter. Even though I don't think it's fall. UAL, interesting, it was flat today. Sitting on top of the broad information. I think this one actually is gonna go 2 up tomorrow. If you ask my opinion. It's sitting on the BF like that. This is something that could be good. $38.86 is the level for entry. 312 on the 4-hour above 38.86 would be your entry on UAL. Okay. A lot of stuff did not show well when they hit broad information I saw today. So yeah, I think we're good, peoples. We'll look at some hedge plays and then I'm gonna let y'all go. TLT, because of how the afternoon went, had a strong afternoon to the upside. Oh yeah, 119. Last time we got around this level, I think we pushed up. What was this? Let me zoom in here. We pushed up to, yeah, about 123 and then murmur came back down. So I don't know. I think we may push up a tad on TLT and then come right back down on it. I don't want to play it long per se tomorrow, but that's good that I saw that. BXX looks good. Looks like it should be going down tomorrow, which is a good sign. 322 down, 322 on the day below 2132. That's good. That's good. It's just added confirmation, really, of like we're doing all these upside plays. We need some other things to support that thinking. TLT does not with the way it showed in the afternoon, but that's more responsive to how SPY pulled down in the afternoon, whereas VIX is actually showing us volatility is coming down, which a lot of times correlates with the market going up. So that looks good. And then SPY, we'll wrap it up here. So I think we got a pretty good understanding and assessment of what's strong out here in the market. We did find some downside setups as well. This has been a stock pickers week. I think tomorrow will be no different. No, we didn't check over Para, but we checked over like all the airlines. We didn't check Twitter, but we checked all the airlines. They all look the same. Yeah, Twitter, you see this BF above his head? I don't want to take no trades with that BF right there. I don't want to get hung up in there. I don't have time in the 0 day to go sideways and fight with a broad formation. And then 2, it's too much conflict for me. I need to like take entry and then that flips everything. Shoot, I want it to be easy to identify. So that'll wrap it up, peoples. I'll let y'all go. Just so you know, AAL, we did put an alert on it. We expect it to go 2 up tomorrow. But with that, my peoples, I will let y'all go. Y'all have a good evening, and I'll catch y'all in the Discord as well as in the morning. Let's get this chicken, man. Let's make some money. So anyway, y'all have a great weekend. Or shit, y'all have a great night. Peace.
Peace.
Word.